Hello everybody, my name is ANDAY. Welcome to another LEGO Ninjago Dragons Rising episode, or part 2, or season 2, part 2, episode either 8 or 18, depending on how you look at it, Clues and Suspects. So, I suspect, this is gonna be, this is gonna be the mystery solved episode. Maybe, perhaps. It'll give us a good insight between whose is what in here. So it'll be very interesting to see how it all goes through. Because like up until this point, there's been a lot of mysteries. So much that, but there's been a lot of like clues and details of whichever where who could be planning something, who could be connected to the death of the matriarch, who could be what did you do to save for source dragons? Who knows? Who knows for sure? So yeah, of course, go watch Lego Ninjago Dragons Racing, uh, seasons past on Netflix or other official media that you may have in your area. That way, we get more great episodes. So yeah, go watch them. Go watch them do this. Go watch uh, this on Netflix, and then come back and watch me watch this. That's pretty much the drill with all this going on. All the reactions. Of course. And if you have been sticking around since first episode, thank you for coming and uh, maybe you're coming back and enjoying my watchings of this. My watchings. What am I saying? My reactions, because I really love Ninjago and I really love what they're doing with this show. I think it's continuing at all because I used to think it was gone forever back in 2012 or 2013. I think that was when it was supposed to end, but it didn't, and our lives were all improved happily because of it. Anyways, and we got a bunch more sets, but that's also a plus. Anyways, I think I've talked long enough. Let's get into the reaction episode. Lego Ninjago Dragons Racing Season 2, Episode 18. Clues and Suspects will start in 3, 2, 1. Oh, is he still? He's still out?
The medical bots assured us Lloyd's condition is stable, but he shows no signs he will wake up from this coma.
No.
Has to wake up.
Just like
We
Deku.
can't do this without him. Whatever fears he had about being our master in the games,
I thought Lloyd would be, sorry. We came to do the official transfer of elemental powers.
Lloyd is technically the victor of that competition.
I really, really want to, but I can't. We have to. We have to do what we do. But yeah, well, that was another good episode. Like, a lot going on, a lot of stuff happening with the clues. Like, the clues going on about, obviously, and stuff. Well, it was supposed to be just clues that are pointing out how Black does not like Aaron. But it does show that there is something going on with him and Roz. Well, he did invoke the thing, but like, I mean, for all we know, Lloyd could have been a little sore, right? And like, really, he did really good, even if he was sore. Like, he still matched Noct pretty well, but like, yeah, unfortunately, it was rigged again, and by rigged again, I mean like literally, he was taken out of his place by Noct. But actually, could that have been planned from the start too? Like when he was with, or yeah, Beatrix, was something influencing her that made her strike out of anger? Where she fed some of the dragon horns, maybe? By Blecht, and that made her get so angry enough that she made that last strike against Lloyd to put him in a coma? That's some. If that's the case, that'd be very interesting. Because like you would never expect that. And even then, that's like that'd be like some high 4D chess, which is something we haven't seen. Because I feel like either I'm not sure if Blecht would be the type to plan that far ahead, but Raz definitely would be. Ugh. So yeah, we got more. We got a vision of the exact thing that just happened, and unfortunate that he's here Yeah, also Gio's here next to Cole, so it is nice to see, you know, close friend. Concern. Where's Euphrasia and everyone else? I guess they're either busy or just watching other parts of the game. But yeah, like this is like what, the third time he's been in a coma? Or no, it would have been like, okay, the first time was, I think, all the way back. Well, not all the way back, but like the first time he was in a coma. Would it have been technically, he was knocked out, but it wasn't in a coma in Final Battle. I'm trying to think of other times because he was like, he's been caught up in so many different things. He was technically not conscious when Moro possessed him, but not in a coma per se. But he was still like moving and such, and he could technically be up at any time. But I'm sorry, I just keep looking at the little fire smile that is in Wildfire's suit. It's so weirdly cute and adorable. But yeah, like, how does that go on? And also, like, you know, what was it? I don't can't remember what I was gonna say. Oh yeah, the first time he was in a coma, I think it would have to be in season 9 or 8, right? When he first fought Emperor Garmadon, and Garmadon like hit him through so many different walls and then launched him like hundreds of feet away. Like that took him out. Which also again shows how cool Lloyd is. That he's able to make shields around his body to absorb the impact. Very epic. Very cool. And also, he's the element of life, which honestly that makes sense. Like it works. To be honest, I think it works. Even if life is green energy. Well, it's green energy that's manifested from, well, all the 4 main elements. So like, you know, earth, fire, water. Well, not water, but ice and lightning. It's all infused together into that. So like, you know, it makes sense, to be honest, is what I think, really. But it is so sad that he was able to come out of his coma by a Source Dragon themselves, but was still unfortunate, you know, still rigged and had to use the rules against him. And so that kind of sucks. But yeah, I'm like so wondering if the whole Zeatrix thing that was caused because of just stuff that was put in her thing. Maybe was she like fed Dragonhorn energy? Maybe that was what made her so angry and so wanting to fight against Lloyd and such and co. You know, like originally I thought it was just okay. She was just so committed to wanting to dethrone her own sister, and obviously potentially look like her, or take her place at the throne and disguise to be as her, and probably just include, hey, I have an element of power now that my sister died or something like that. You know, just try to ruse everybody around her to get so she can go back in her rightful place, which it does seem to be the case that she's not able to go back to her kingdom now that they are less of a monarchy. Otherwise, why would she be hanging around here? Well, I mean, she was just hanging around in Ninjago City, right? She was just eating, like, what, tea or something? So, yeah. I'm very curious to see if they'll wrap all this up. Yeah, Rhodey here. Bringing with Zeatrix. Which, I mean, bro could have done that as, like, sleep. Taking it from her and then just administering it here. But I don't see why he didn't do that already. Unless he's planning something. And he might be. He's the most quiet guy here. And I thought he was just a grumpy old man, but... I mean, he still might be, but, like... You know, especially after that going on in the last part of the episode. He's more evil than meets the eye. And yeah, like, Zeatrix as a whole is a lot calmer here for just a second. And yeah, he does mention... banned from the tournament, but all 2 future tournaments, which... Now, how long will that be? How long will a future tournament be from now? Please explain. And I like how Gio here is giving the mad face, like, same. But yeah, she said she was caught up in winning. She stammers too, which is interesting. She blanked out. I assume they mean blacked out? In anger? Yeah, acted out of rage. And that's something Aaron notices too, like, even after she says that. It's something Aaron picks up on. So it probably is something that they want you to think about. Or at least rage of to do with the dragon horns, or rage to do with the like just being an excuse for putting Lloyd in a coma. Let's see, blanked out. Not looking at the one to cover someone. Oh, okay, that's that's not the literal reason. To forget something, to deliberately forget something unpleasant, such as I've blanked out everything about the accident. To prevent you from having thought or feeling. To do not allow yourself to experience a feeling or thought. To prevent yourself from having a thought or feeling. Okay, either that one or the they remember this. She just doesn't remember she did it. So yeah, that is interesting. Whatever the case, it does seem to be like, you know, like she was like seemed to be really like cautious here. It wasn't until wildfire comes up in her face it says stuff like this. Yeah, I like how she doesn't back away either. She's still pretty brave even if Shockwave shows up. I can't remember if her power had all these bubbles in it, but they look cool. Then we get the cool intro. And yeah, she's back to evil here. Well, not evil, but like rageful. Maybe Black to 6 something in her. But hold on. She does get... Where does he go when this happens, though? Because he was also affected by the blast she makes. But actually, yeah, I like that. Her eyes turn blue first. And then they turn pink. And then violet, I think? Or purple. She has a little green there, too. Well, green... Oh, it's a mix of green, light blue, dark blue, and purple. Or maybe indigo. Whatever the case, bro was looking that way, and then he moves back. Look at that. Could that mean he was prepared to move back and knew this exact thing would happen? Is he already suspect number 7? Oh, well, she does a flip, too. That's cool. But yeah, power's gone. But yeah, she's definitely an interesting case of, you know, she does have a point, and she is right to be acting a certain way, but also, like, there's just so much going on that you're not sure if it's really her or if something else is afoot. Yeah, like, she acts just as bad as Beatrix would. Yeah, I like how he says if Lloyd wakes up, but then when Lloyd wakes up. Transfer all powers to him and you're in him. Which I get what they mean, but like, I don't know, it would be... Couldn't hurt to put him on him already, unless you do need to be awake to be able to be given them. Maybe it's like a conscious thing. And yeah, they look so fire, which is definitely something she'd say. And that is funny that he does agree. They are stylish, but that's the point. That's fun. Yeah, it's crazy how Aaron says this, and then we get a glance at Sora here. Which, like, yeah, you can really tell how much it affected Aaron, because he's, like, pretty much ignoring Sora for a good part. The stings through Roby's innocence. Which, like, yeah, it is great. We don't have many interactions between Aaron and Wildfire that I think of. Yeah, like, again, Aaron's still pretty obviously messed up about it, so he's telling Sora to stay put, because, you know, he's the one who's gonna want to do that. But also we get a flashback, which is neat, because we don't really hear much about them. But we see that they apparently did a lot of things together, like play mystery board games. Like, this is straight up interesting. Ninjago clue. Even comes with a hat. That's cool. Clue didn't come with a hat. I don't think. Neat little Lego faces. Food here looks good too. Is that zucchinis? I think these are oranges. Grapefruit. There's a carrots, watermelons, pears, oranges. What are these? These like onions? No. These aren't apples because these are apples over here. So what are these? Oreganos? Durians? I don't know. I don't know any fruit except for the fruit that appeared on freaking Annoying Orange. Shout out to another Cartoon Network show. But yeah, I like how she's like, oh, we tried. An innocent man would lock his door off his... Which that is a funny saying. And yeah, like, yeah, the more people lock doors. She was raised by dragons, and even she knows that. That's funny. And yeah, we get a point here. We're saying, trying to teach her Switch, but just something making her, preventing her from getting past it. So it is interesting. And I like how Roby says, you wreck you with tech, you... Funny. And now a bunch of other cool powers. The Quake Snake ready to break the competition. Which is great. Because, you know, they're pretty good at making certain rounds. And again, we don't see where Nia is. Or Ryu, so something happened between them. And I guess, also with these guys are just chilling here. Wolf Warrior's just hanging out. And they're also spectators, I guess. Yeah, I like how even now Cole's wrapped in the whole... Something's up with, what's her name? And yeah, Sora here actually knows her name now. Friends that hate her. Which is some yikes. And we have a really cool battle here. And I like how they both use initial fighting style attacks. Which rather being ice and heat. Which is really cool seeing. Because, like, you know, they go so well together, but also, like, very good opposites of each other. Obviously, because they're both projectile and, like, temperature-based. But they both work well so good. They work so well is what I'm saying. And like she does have some good level of balance, like on her own. Like that was something she didn't even need the elements of balance to use. But I like how she gets an idea and goes on back on the platform. And then he does that and does the same. Yeah, pew pew pew. Which is great, and she does something here. She uses her element of balance, which is cool. And like how it glows specifically, like another part of her body. That's really cool. It does make it like stand out as a unique power. Yeah, another heat blast, and then hey, heat blast. But yeah, knocks down the thing. I thought she was gonna fix it with her tech, but yeah, she strict what he says on Tutter lots, and she uses the smoke here to catch him off guard, which is so cool. Using Cinder smoke like that, especially after we know how effective Cinder is at using it. And she like pops in the air too. That's cool. Pop. Like that was really good. Then kabam. Fajam come and join the slam, and they use their balance to stay put. That's really cool. Based. And yeah, here was what I guess would be, it would be, you know, the win for using Shadow Spin here, because Raz does give him a look. And then he pulls out the mask. And we almost get a wolf snake hybrid here. And yeah, I like how we do see he does remember what he says about, even though he admired like people who wore these masks, saying, oh, they're cool mask warriors, even though, you know, the lesser people, the mooks, wear those instead of him. But I guess Cinder too. Like, the masks will make you more powerful, but they corrupt you. They poison you. And yeah, like, you remember, I like how he does take this moment to actually really care for what Aaron said, and it's not like, oh, okay, if Aaron sees the error in of his ways, he'll just check it out. But I like how this is what drives him away from Roz, it seems to be. Was that unironically listening to something Aaron said. So like, it goes both ways, you know what I mean? Like, Aaron, like, he taught him something about Spinjitzu, which, again, we saw it. It was orange with a bit of red in it, and then he learned something from Aaron here, which is Roz only cares about power no matter the cost, which it seems to be true. And, you know, again, we don't know the full, like, completely, actually, like, we don't even know what the bad thing would be if using the thing too much. That's something interesting. I mean, yeah, like, it actually takes a moment to hesitate about it, because, like, even though this is something you super admire, and they even have the gong back there. Look at that. That's some good details. The bro's back there waiting for the thing, while holding the mallet and gong shattering. And then, of course, Roz yelling in the back, do not disappoint me. Which, I mean, I get what he's saying. Using that is kind of an instant win. But also, I mean, with all the elements he has, he could still, you know, he could come up with a way to one-up him. Or Sora, rather. And he could have just said it, like, straight up here, I don't need a mask to beat you, but he doesn't. He plays it fair, which is nice. And it is cool to see, you know, because he really is a good snake boy at heart. And that disappoints Roz. Yeah, I like how he does. Was that shake here? Or he does use shake? I think. No, he does. No, she does heat. No, he was about to do shake. I see. Or he does do shake. My bad. He uses shake, which is his natural power, so like it makes sense for him to use that here. But she uses heat to knock him away with a double heat fireball, which was based. And yeah, I see the route over, but I thought he was gonna get back in because of the rock thing. But he is off the platform, so I guess it sort of counts. And he did just say right here, Sora is the winner. So like, I guess he must have fallen far enough down below to where, well, I mean, it is off the platform, so it doesn't. It's not like you have to fall to lose. You just have to not get off the platform, and if you get off the platform, you lose. Whether it is like below the platform or like not, because he does raise himself back up here. Then again, also a good sport. Seabow and such. He's great. I like him. He's so nice. And then Sora being awesome. And she might actually have a chance of winning now that, unfortunately, Lloyd is not in the games. And yeah, we get this very sad scene. It's like, yeah, even if you've done some harsh things, you still continue to do them, Ross. Especially against this boy snake. He's just a little guy. Leave him be. Oh wow, saying that I never want you in my sight. Which is so the rudest thing ever. Which, I mean, I guess that's exactly what you probably said to Jay, but like, it's even worse because this is the little snake guy. And yeah, we have this moment here where Jordana sneaks up to Sora, and I thought she was holding her hand. I swear they were gonna set something up there, but I guess it's too early for that. So instead, it's like a math equation that probably spells out like words. So it's like super deep level of coding. Imperium math equation. Okay, check this out. There's a double M. There's a whatever that is. 7 equals 0 cross, and then pentagram, I think, or hexagon. That's a hexagon. See, if you look at it, tilt your head a little bit. That's a hexagon. Hexagon with the fork inside. So hexagon plus fork equals dash, lightning symbol, square, dash, also lightning symbol, parentheses, and upside down double cross. Boom, I solved it for you. But yeah, that's like 5D levels of, it's like extra levels of care to make sure your thing doesn't get spotted by, well, whoever's watching. Does she just assume she's go, oh, look at my math equation? But you can solve this, nerd. You know she probably did that though. She probably bragging to the other. I'm gonna send her a math equation, and she's gonna be so dumb, she won't even figure it out. Oh no, I raised myself. Whoops. I was excited, but not that excited. Now I'm levitating. Hi guys. Okay, I fixed that. I hope it's fine. Nope, I'm still up in the air. Whoopsie. There we go. Now we're all fine. All good. Got to line up with my MIDI figure. He was floating in the air though. That was nice. But yeah, that's like 70 math equation. But yeah, it's totally something Jordana probably say, haha, I'm gonna give this math equation, and she's gonna be too stupid to figure it out. And yeah, that is definitely something she probably told the others, and they're like, well, I mean, Sander's probably like, haha, that's good. But Noct was like, yeah, I don't care. And then Roz was like, Bruh. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, here we have the best lock pickers in the world using a fork to pick the lock. I admire your ingenuity. Is this like the? Well, I guess it does make sense for that to be there. I thought it was just part of his. It's like skin, but no, it's fabric. It's different. It's all different. Okay, black and Roby. Yeah, just looking at you. Yeah, and it's great. Also, Aaron's smile is funny. Like the brightest smile ever. That's like an Emmett face from the Lego movie. And Black Tear looking mean as ever. He's plotting something. He's doing something. I just know it. I just know it. Yeah, he's a snazzy dresser. And yeah, it does seem to be like it is good that they don't like shy away from having this not be on his model. They do bring up the cufflinks and then the little bits where I guess the like part of the shirt pocket that kind of goes out. Well, not shirt pocket, but like the sleeves that kind of go out whenever you put on like dressy clothes for you know, when you go places. You put these on cufflinks. See, he does. Yeah, but Dad used to wear them, so Uncle Black thought I should wear them for the first tournament. Look at that Black Stitch shop. He gave it to me right before the first game for good luck. So maybe he did that to put the blame on Roby, but really they don't get that the real blame is the friends we laid along the way. I don't know what I'm saying. Yeah, but they do point out something here, I think. Yeah, cufflinks right before the first game. I imagine if I go look back, and if they're not there, I'll get mad, but it's totally fine. Yeah, even if you see what you can see really. So like, good like detective flashback from a board game of Clue. But yeah, it's kind of sweet seeing, you know, still Kid Lloyd or Kid Aaron having fun with his parents, because yeah, they do still mean a lot to him, obviously, because you know, parents are like that. And man, like her hair is never not giving me. There's no Lego piece with this hair. I can't think of any piece would that even be similar. I guess that one with the hair, but it's still like totally different. Like, where does this part come in? And the back, it's like a little frustrating. Also, oh, you're Aaron. Kid Aaron always wears his gloves. I guess he wanted to be that much of a ninja that he wore gloves, because they wore gloves all the time, black gloves. Yeah, just feeling good now because of you. Bye. That's the wrong way. She could have just walked in and it'd be fine. Yeah, Wi-Fi. That's funny. And then she squeaks. That's so cute. They're great. And yeah, he says that while he points at him with the stick of sus. Even if you don't support your teammates, have some respect for the tournament. Which, okay, dude, you got your signal sign. Did you mean to point that? I imagine if he didn't know that they knew about something to do with that symbol, he wouldn't have pointed this at them. Otherwise, so what? Does it mean he just pushed his cane into a part of the wall and that made it have the sign? Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, this is, for now, it does seem to be like Black is, or at least sort of is, in the leagues with Roz, and them, both of them maybe seem to be conspiring to use somehow the matriarch horns in attempt to sabotage the tournament and bring out the dragon icons and create the dragon icons in order to use them to make a fake cup and then absorb all the elements into the fake cup with the dragon horns and make the icon and summon the dragons and destroy them or something. I don't know. I'm basing off what I can think of right now. And we have quite a bit to work with, obviously. So, like, yeah, I'm curious what the ultimate plan goal, what this guy wants to do with that, to be honest. Like, I'm curious. What's your motivation, man? You just want to be a boomer for no reason? Imagine being a boomer, dude. Sneaky boots, that's fun. Yeah, I can't remember. I can't be sure if maybe it's a self-locking door, and then he was gonna let them be, but he wouldn't have expected the book. But then he just suspects something here. Look at him. He gives it a side-eye view, but he doesn't turn. Okay, it's not. Okay, I would assume they do the thing where okay, he's a side-eye view, and he looks, and he's like, "Huh, must have been the wind." But no, it's more so like, "Huh, what was that? I don't know. I'm gonna die." He's like, "Huh, must have been nothing. Must have been the wind." So I guess he was like that, but like not like 100% like that. And it wouldn't have been so hard to not see the book and the fork. But whatever, it's fine, it's chill. Always does that with my face. Come on. Yeah, I like the steampunk aesthetics going on, even with the computer laptop. Or yeah, the monitor here. The monitor with no PC. Hold on. It's just a monitor they have facing the thing. Or maybe one of these is the PC and it's just built into the thing. Or maybe this whole thing is the PC. Because look, it has gears. Maybe that means something. Well, it doesn't. We don't see it work, do we? We just have him going to it with the yoga ball. Also, yoga ball. That's funny. I imagine this is definitely Rhodey's corner. Yeah, he hops on it and then it goes boing. Which is funny. I like how they're still keeping Aaron in the silly stuff. Which is great. Now wait, does it turn on here? Yeah, there's no PC connecting to it, so I imagine maybe it's this box back here, because it seems to be advanced, but not that. I mean, what am I saying? They can make a multi-platform thing for the arena in this tournament. Of course, they have advanced technology here. And this old rotary phone, which it is interesting. And yeah, given the little screen or the little thingy going on here, it does seem to be like there is a screen turned on in this, at least in this instance, and he does grab the mouse. But yeah, no book that I'm not guilty or I'm guilty, which is definitely he says it no. And he calls her out. She calls him out on that. Like, yeah. And yeah, what's this thing? And honestly, like, I don't blame her. Like, if you go into a world, you don't know what your phone's gonna look like, especially an older phone. And exactly what this is. And I like our first assumption is, I didn't break it, you broke it. Which is funny. And yeah, actually, that's like really good way of showing the differences in personality between these two people. This place is filled with books. And then Roby's side has, well, wait, the place is filled with books, has tea, rotary phone, pencils, I guess, paper, books, and that big sofa chair right here. And then this side has like colors, neons, a laptop. Well, presumably this could be a laptop, to be honest. It just has a stand to look like a PC monitor. Otherwise, I don't know. Maybe the PC's under here. I don't know. And the yoga ball and the plant and whatever this is painting. And now we can already see there's something afoot here. But that little doll. I assume it's not. It's just a. It's a doll that says, "I hate you, doll," and you squeeze it like a stress doll. Maybe that's a stress doll. It just so happens to look like Ruby's or Rhodey's. Roby. It was smart enough to bug this whole thing. She still doesn't know what it is, which is fair. If you lost on smartphones, you are not gonna know what an old rotary phone looks like. Yeah, this is definitely a layer if I've seen one. And there's a bunch of stuff here. These like gunshot holes. Like pew pew pew. Or did you just like stab his cane in it very hard? You got a ladder up there. You got paint here. And you have all these photos of Roby with very, very tasteful looking artwork done to it. Like straight up just, I hate you, Roby. Maybe that's what he does all day. He's so mad at Roby for being so cool and hip that he does all this. So like it's kind of funny. And he puts his picture over Roby's face like, wow, dude. Puts Roby's there right there. And man, he does hate him. Emojis. It would do his beautiful, beautiful face. It's funny. Yeah, he does not like Roby. And here's the doll. This is just stuffing coming out of it, not instead of needles or something like that. But the head does pop off. So, like, bro really hates his nephew. For some reason, we don't even know. But yeah, this thing here, which it's a calendar, presumably? Yeah, is that evidence? Which, meet with Roz. Assuming that's what it says in Ninjago. Which, M-E-T-W-I T-H. That does match up with this one. R-A-S. Meet with Roz. That's some good level of wording the Ninjago text to make it come up with a good language. Oh, and here's a much clearer. Meet with Roz. And yeah, same wording for the T. That's pretty good. Now this. Assume this is the start of the tournament, so like it all depends on what is the meeting of. Yeah, it does sound like evidence, but like why would he meet before the tournament? Obviously to plan for evil. Oh, admitting and create a crime, which obviously was. Why write about it? Maybe he's forgetful. Boomers. They forget things all the time. And yeah, he is fussing with these boring stuff, like ledges and rules. And yeah, they do need more answers, like, because even though, you know, what we see later is pretty hard proof of something going on afoot. Yeah, look at him. Look at this guy. He's had a rough day. Let him sleep. To be honest, like he needs sleep. Yeah, it actually brings out deciphering. Actually, she just was who's her gender, so he does forget her name. And it's like, oh, the girl from Imperium. Something weird's definitely going on with her. Yeah, spells out the words crown, mono, stereo. So like, it does seem to be like some sort of equation, but if you do the math and deciphers the into words, well, I guess it's probably words into. Sorry, I was right. It isn't. Oh, it's not an M, but it is pretty close. So this would be crown. This would be stereo, I guess, and then or crown, and that one would be mono, and then that's stereo. Plus, like, you know, it's math, so we have no idea what it means, but it's specifically Imperium math, so we don't really know. And yeah, monasterio. Monastery. Horns in the monastery. And yeah, that's very crazy levels of... Like, good on Aaron for piecing that together. Because, like, honestly, I had no clue. Yeah, we trust what's her name. Their choice. And then Lloyd's back in this vision, which... Does this mean this is where Lloyd was this whole time? While stuff was going on? They were back to the pretty crazy visions, but we see something new here. Aaron's now among them. He's among the bad wolves. To be against. But it does not seem... This could be a vision? Maybe? If they're going down that route, where it being, okay, this is what's gonna happen, and he is gonna side with the wolves on this. But he does seem pretty adamant of not using wolf masks. And here comes Zeatrix with the thingy. The special sword. It does seem to hit him actually again. Which is unfortunate because it does seem like he can hear. But we see the Dragon Emotion appear in his visions. And actually combat the visions he sees. Well, by knocking those guys away. But yeah, Aaron doesn't seem to see us. He just crosses his arms, which is interesting. Okay, he does sort of run away here. But yeah, it is neat how the Source Dragon can just come up and pretty much beat up his visions. And then goes and blows up the moon. Which I don't doubt is something a Source Dragon could be able to do. Because like, it's even visualized to be that way. Just blows fire and then like bits of the moon is already breaking apart. And then just another like catastrophe, another like explosion. Then that clears everything. Then they come forth here. Hey man, like they look great. Ocean Source Dragon, thank you. And look, looks really good here. Honestly, I thought it was just a quick repeat of the first vision we ever saw, because it was kind of like 1-to-1. Except, of course, obviously, Aaron and Theatrix. But yeah, she says she can. They say they can warn them off, but they will be back. Which that is honestly really cool display of power. That is the wrong key. Yeah, Conduit, you were given a grave responsibility. And yeah, that like again puts us like, you know. So when I have come to you, if I believe you could do this, but you still have discovered protecting our dragons. Setting, which is exactly why you must get back in the games. And then they use her, I assume, like partial healing power, because well, at least enough to wake him up from a coma. Or maybe he wakes up himself and all she did, or all they did was just give him the motivation to do it. Otherwise, he probably would have been completely healed. Because I don't doubt this Emotion Source Dragon could have done that. Otherwise, nah. Yeah, they say Nox, but they don't say his elements. Which maybe he doesn't have one anymore. Maybe that's the price of using Shadow Spin so much. You like that becomes your main power, and you just don't have your own element anymore. Which is interesting. And yeah, then Loin goes back, but unfortunately he's all hurt. Yeah, it's all the orbs, but I was so confused. I thought, okay, are there more orbs going on? Because it looked that kind of put some things back in place. Like, okay, if there are other orbs out there, then who would they be? And you know, it does separate between whatever Wu is and what Sprite was. So like, and yeah, he's bad when improv. Yeah, when they're in this cool fighting arena, actually, that is a good thing to point out. Lloyd's back at the tournament. Roby's excited about it, but Blett, the Bleck that he is, gives a grimace. See that face? Wait, I think he does something else. Or am I misremembering? Okay, yeah, there it is. He's like, See, check him out. Look, watch. Look. Look at that face. That's the face of an evil doer if I've seen one. And yeah. And I'm pretty sure, like, it has to be. Lloyd has the power of friendship, has the power of main character, has the power of the chosen one. That probably is still added up now, because he has a bunch of it now. And all the powers of elements. He should have won this. And even then, it was still matched. Like, he was still, like, it wasn't a complete win, but it was definitely, like, a good match between his Rising Dragon and Nox. Nox, Shatter Spin. And again, that detail is so cool. The eyes glow red while he's using it, and then they go back to blue. And yeah, he does grunt, and does seem to be a little bit hurt, but he's not, you know, unbad. Or not completely at stable condition. And of course, it's him who goes to Bell and stops the fight. Which is very unfortunate. Yeah, clearly a strike pattern. Well, he's not technically not wrong. He is kind of a little bit injured. It says here, according to the rules of the Source Dragons. Which, I mean, Source Dragon motion themselves just came out of whatever their heaven space is like, and then just told Lloyd to keep fighting. So I feel like their rulings would be overruling these rules. You know what I'm saying? And desire for fairness, but then they use Shadow Span and Rising Dragon. And I said, well, if it's in the rulebook, I guess. And yeah, it kind of stinks. Well, at least, you know, he's still a good sport in battles and such. And yeah, all those elements going out and now into Noct. Which is, like, he's the craziest one. And we haven't seen Shade fight yet. If she is here to fight, or just watch. But yeah, now he's got green, and then, of course, he shows that off. Then he smiles at Lloyd, like, wow, dude. He's so smug about it. And at least his thing's still on there. Raz, can you shock him one of these days? And yeah. Glad he's awake. Hope you okay. Like, yeah, now he can't be. He can't be working in lead with whoever's bad here. If the odds may ever be in your favor. Wait, is that a Hunger Games reference? And yeah, you're more Lloyd angst. But it's true. Like, Sora is still in the game, and him helping Teacher would not mean the end. And honestly, hopefully Sora pulls this off. And then we see the mech! And yeah, inside. Okay, yeah, wow. There isn't a thing for the head, but it just then pops out. And he's in his suit. It looks really cool, too. Shoulder pads. Very Evangelion-esque. I say that even though I haven't seen it. So yeah, we get focused, and then we see an image of his mom. Who is wearing a similar thing going on here. So that's kind of neat. That's really cool. So wait, is this a vision of her back then, or some sort of vision of her now, in wherever the departed realm is, or realm where the first Magician Master was, or yeah, like what does that mean? But yeah, like that seemed to be the case with obviously if the Elements Masters, or rather the Elements Masters of creation, fire, ice, fire, ice, I'm blanking. Fire, ice, lightning, and earth. If they lose their powers, it's not completely done. We've seen this with Nia. We've seen this with Kai. We've seen this with Lloyd. And we've seen this with, well, not Jay specific. We haven't seen any with Jay, but, or I guess Zane technically, maybe. We haven't seen it with them, but we have seen. This is a good another example with, maybe it's the coal. Something about the mech itself has the control over elements, and that's why these things over here glow. And he did keep the sword, which is cool. Yeah, like that's such a cool mech. And yeah, definitely going out with the push maneuver. And that's exactly what it does. And I'm wondering if he's able to do that because he's in the mech, or if he's able to do this naturally if he does have all his powers without the mech. You know what I'm saying? Like, could he make a giant rock bridge just like this by himself, or would the mech like boost it? It's pretty much my question. But also, it is clearly show it's not him, it seems. Like, because he doesn't have a scar showing, nor elemental eyes or hands. So yeah, this is all the mech, which is cool. Like, really cool. Even if it still, like, shows, you know, even if it doesn't have its elements, he can still use a mech that has the power to control the elements, of which he was. But yeah, this is really cool. Really big bridge, to be honest. And it looks a lot thinner than it would be. But then we get this angled shot with Aaron in the mech climbing up. And I like how he hops on his foot. Like, let's go. Which is funny. And yeah, like, it's a huge bridge. And I thought this was just gonna be multiple little orbs. But no. It seems to be all these orbs are a unified one consciousness, and that consciousness is Wu. So like, can Wu split himself into four elements. He's a master of creation. He can split himself into the 4 elements of creation. Maybe that's why. But yeah, Wu Ghost here. Maybe he'll say or do something. But it is kind of funny how Aaron here is the one seeing him. So like, do you think Aaron's gonna say something? Aaron's gonna put some doubt into Wu's mind? Is Aaron gonna feel betrayed that he's actually right there? And I'm very curious with this pairing, because like, even then, I'm pretty sure Cole was the first one to meet. Wasn't Cole the first one to actually be recruited by Wu? Now that I think about it, because he's the one who climbed up the giant mountain and met him there. So like, him being the first one to meet him, Aaron being one of the last ones, that'd be a very good pairing, to be honest. I'm very, very curious to see where they take this. Oh, why did I do that? Now I'm gone. Oh, now I'm small. Alright, I'm back. Okay, I meant to close the thing. Whoopsie. Alright. Another good episode, another good stuff to talk about, to be honest. Like, this is very pairing up to be a really good season, I think. So, yeah, I think that's enough for talking about. Thank you all for watching. My name is ANDAY. Please make sure to go watch the official stuff on, like, Netflix, all that thing. And come back to go watch me. Well, first watch me react to it, and then hear me yap about all this if you were here long enough. So, yeah. Thank you all for watching. My name is ANDAY. I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.